Welcome to Cinema Snacks.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Cinema Snacks with me, Scott.
And it's me, Dan.
And we will be a three piece at some point in this record because Jobe is on his way, I've been told, but he's only 5 minutes ish away. So we will be joined by Jobe in the very near future.
Unfortunately, we only have the studio for like 40 minutes, so we have to utilise it in the 2x1 metre studio.
Yeah. But today we have I'm quite excited about this conversation.
Makes two of us.
Today we will be talking about Masters of the Universe. I'm going to let you go first on your kind of reactions to the thing because I know a lot about the new one because I was around the filming of it quite a lot. I was delivering to the city. It was all filmed in England, the new one.
Yes, because you can recognise bits.
Yeah, like Canary Wharf and stuff when he's in the office and bits and pieces. Like I've been around this film quite a lot, so I know quite a bit about it. But what did you make of the Masters of the Universe?
So I enjoyed it. I said this was a film I think was very much aimed at me because it's nostalgia and it did the thing which I like, where a lot of films now they're like, no, we're going to remake it. It's what I call they tried to remake it how they remembered it, not how it was, how they remembered it. But this film was actually like, no, He-Man was always a bit camp, a bit naive, a bit young. He's a young prince. And Skeletor was an out-and-out villain. And it was larger than life and colourful. And on those notes, I think they hit all perfect. So it was enjoyable for me. I have like nitpicks. I have some things I was like, oh, if only they just did this, it would have moved it up a level. But overall, I said it was wonderful popcorn film for me. I just sat back, enjoyed. A couple bits made me laugh. A couple bits in the middle, I was like, okay, you need to pick it up a bit or kind of commit to it. But I enjoyed it overall.
Yeah, do you know what? I grew up. Obviously, me and you are very similar ages. I grew up with He-Man. He-Man was a cartoon I loved, and the one thing I will say about this film is it kind of does leave you a little bit flat at the end of it. However, they try really hard. There's so much in this where callbacks to the cartoon and callbacks to the original origins of it, and even to the point where He-Man in the film, Adam goes into the comic book shop and it's littered with Easter eggs, which I'm sure you picked up on more than I did. But the guy holding the sword is Torak, which is the original version of what He-Man was going to be. So even things like that, you think, wow, they've tried really hard to please everybody with this.
This comes from a place of love, this film.
Yeah, 100%. I will say that. I mean, there's parts of it, again, I've got issue with, but I do think I did come out of it going, you know what? They tried really hard to give you the best version of what they thought a He-Man film, a Masters of the Universe film was.
Me and you love a bit of history, and at one point I was going to record with you and Joe all the He-Man films that nearly got made because its journey to the screen since Dolph is absolutely mental.
Yeah, do you know what? And we'd be remiss not to talk about the Dolph 87 version because again, it's a guilty pleasure of mine. I love the Dolph version. It's, there's certain parts of that film that I missed from this film. I mean, Grildor, for instance, the little troll thing that was in the first one, just him walking around, He-Man, like I missed that in this film. So there's parts of that film that I still love. Can we just sidetrack on this then? What did you think of the Dolph cameo in the film?
Oh, it made me smile. I think it knew that everyone was going to want a cameo, and it just did a cameo which worked on like plot levels, but it was a nod to people like me and you remember watching Dolph Lundgren in his leather pants.
Yeah, it just for me personally, it was a weird cameo because he walks into the gym and all of a sudden he just turns to Dolph Lundgren and goes, "Can you give me some advice?"
Just looking at the size of him as well.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, but I did definitely liked as Dolph was walking away. He said, "Good journey." I like that because obviously, again, call back to the original '87 film. But I think what they could have done with Dolph, I think he should have been his dad. I think that would have been a really cool. He should have been the
King Ragnar.
Yeah, I think he should have been him. I think that would have been better. I was to say, well, the guy who played the king was the lowest part for me. He wasn't I mean, he's a fantastic actor. I've seen him in loads of different things. Didn't think he was great in this. I think Dolph could have brought something more to that.
Yeah, I think for the amount he's in it, Dolph in it would have been a good nod. But then you got the flip side that we'd be distracted going, oh, that's He-Man. He-Man's his own dad. And so I understand why they didn't do it. But yeah, it's in this kind of film, it would have been a fun nod. But something I really enjoyed about this, which the other one didn't do, I like at the very start, the film itself just goes like, right, here's 3 minutes, a recap of everything that has led up to this moment. So here's a pretty by the numbers version of Eternia and how Skeletor is there and what happens when Adam becomes He-Man. So yeah, I quite enjoyed that. Made me
Yeah,
smile.
I mean, we've started giving sort of plot summaries and stuff. It's very easy to sum this one up. Skeletor attacks Grayskull. Oh, sorry, Eternia attacks Eternia. They send He-Man to Earth, which is where his mother comes from originally. Hence why he takes her name. Adam Glenn. Glenn's her last name in the cartoon. He loses the sword, has to find the sword, come back, beat Skeletor. It's a very basic story, but like you say, I do think again, I don't think there's anything wrong with the story. I think they hit all the beats in it. My issue, my biggest issue with this was they made He-Man very very camp, which he does very well. He's very fun. I think the guy's
Oh,
very fun.
He-Man is camp.
Yeah, but I just think like there's part of this story where they say that you don't need to sword, Adam. The power is in you, and you think like it fucking ain't. Like he's nothing without the sword. Like
Well,
he's nothing
as
without that sword.
as someone who was in a previous podcast by the name of Emma, I think her name was, she
Okay, I've
said to
heard
me,
of her.
yeah, she said to me, it follows Ragnarok visually, and there's moments in the story, and that moment got me where he's like, "No, you are He-Man," and it's the same with in for Ragnarok, where he's speaking to Odin. He's like, "You the god of hammers or the god of thunder?"
Mm,
It very much had that moment for me in my head. So I was
yeah,
like, "Yeah, it's a nice idea, but you've kind of been beat to it, and they did it better."
yeah. You've made He-Man so soft that when he does start throwing the sword around, like I liked the first fight with not Lockjaw. Is it Lockjaw?
Yeah, or
Um,
Trapjaw.
Or Trap, yeah. When he fights him, he's learning his powers and his strength. I got that. When he's going toe to toe with Skeletor later on, I'm like, he's not a fighter. Like, it gives no reason for him to
Mm.
have any of this training. So that kind of come up wrong for me.
But
Let's,
I will give this film kudos with one thing. My big fear with any He-Man movie, because it's already been done, is they spend too long on Earth. And the thing
yeah,
you want is you want to see Eternia. You want to see like this. Looks like it's somewhere across between the Lord of the Rings, a Warhammer game, and like just a big fantasy thing. I mean, there's a castle with a skull. I like the way they kind of like established why he was there, but they got him back to Eternia earlier on in the film.
yeah. Didn't waste too much time with that. I'll give it that. Let's talk about the big elephant in the room. He
Mm,
wasn't involved in any of the press. He wasn't involved in any interviews.
mm.
Because of his behaviour off of screen.
Various films
Yeah,
and off screen.
Jared Leto. I can't stand the man, and I'm Buddhist, so I don't want to put that out in the world and bad karma. But I can't stand him. However, what a performance! I've got to say, I loved him as Skeletor.
Yeah, it's one of those things once again with him, like him as a person.
Mm.
Um, I'm not Buddhist, so I can kind of say that. But I said with Skeletor, silly as it sounds, you can't do him like the cartoon. That is one off. The voice, everything needs to work
Mm.
perfect. So you have to do your own spin on it. And I will keep going through this. I think this is where me and you are opposed. You have to keep the camp. The camp is a part of He-Man. It always has been, always will be. So
Yeah,
if you're doing a faithful retelling of the cartoon and toys, it has to be quite camp. And Skeletor, he was a bit of a queen who wanted his dramatic and theatrical moments, and
Mm.
it was a different take on it, and because he's only in it for small bits, that I've enjoyed that quite a lot.
yeah, Yeah, I did. I really enjoyed his performance. I thought Evil Lynn, the dynamic they had where Skeletor was questioning himself and like, am I
Mm.
good enough? And yeah, I thought they did it well. And I thought the voice, like you said, I thought the voice worked because you can't have him coming in like, He-Man. It just wouldn't. It wouldn't work on the
And
big screen.
may we say, costuming in this 1000% wonderful, spot on. It looked
Mm,
like the toys. Like that was
yeah,
what got me. It looked so much like it. I was like, oh my God.
I do. I'm struggling why people have not. Why it's been given the beating it has, really, because again, it is what it is. It's a Masters of the Universe film, and they couldn't have give you a more beat for beat Masters of. I mean, Idris Elba plays a fantastic part in this as Man of Arms as well. I thought he had a great storyline in it. I
I,
don't understand.
I think the problem with it is, and this is what I always say with like nerd culture, because that's what it is at the end of the day. It's um it's tricky because people mine and your age love He-Man. I went to see it with my son. He enjoyed it, but he didn't know the part of it. And I was like, is this a thing that this generation will enjoy? And I think if more people, if it had been spun better, released better, I think it could have been more successful. But in the day and age of Minecraft and different things, I'm like, does it still have that pull? So, and like I said, when you're watching it, Thor Ragnarok flashes into your brain quite a bit, and it has
Yeah,
that go against it because you're comparing it to another film, even though it's its own film. It it strikes beats where you're like, yeah, this like when they did this in Thor. That's like my biggest critique about it. It just needed one. It needed to try one more thing, and that would have moved it out of where I score it, maybe one or two up. It needed one little thing that made it its own.
mm,
That was yeah. It was something like even in my notes, like, I wrote a kind of beat for beat of the script, and it has some like real standout moments. Nearer the end, the part that I know me and you can't want to talk about, like the final battle, but where Skeletor gets into his mind. I was
love
like,
it, love it.
more of that, please. I would have loved more moments like that.
Yeah, because that's where this film really works because it takes the mick out of itself. Like, to have Skeletor standing there in a suit in his office, and then he's in the gym at one point wearing a Nike outfit, and you just think that's
And it
beautiful. That's
even
so
he's like, what's this? Human resources. It's just yeah, it works so well.
yeah, yeah. You are absolutely right. Again, the camp does work. It does. You have to keep it in because again, they do things in this film but don't pay it off. Like there's a point where Adam goes, "So what happens when I lift the sword up and shout? What happens to my trousers? They just disappear? Do I get them
Yeah,
back or?" And it never kind of comes around again. And I thought that's brilliant, like because that's kind of a question you want to know. Like, what happens with your clothes? Like,
yeah. Standing there like
um,
naked because all your clothes are ripped off.
yeah. See, that would have been a funny. Right, I've got a question for you.
All right.
87
Yeah.
or this one? Which one cost more to make?
Are we going current cost or if you did it for inflation?
I'm going to go with what IMDb has told me. So I'm guessing that's with inflation, I believe.
I would say this one costs more because it got stuck in development hell. So there was a set of money spent on it before it made it to the big screen. So
Do you have a
I gone
rough guess what you think it would have cost then, the new one?
200 million, I think was a figure that was getting bandied around.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a $200 million film. The first one only cost 22 million,
Yeah.
which I think you can kind of see because the first one's on Earth a lot. They don't really go to
Oh,
Eternia
yeah.
that much. So it's kind of for this film, apparently, this new one, for a 200 million budget, has only made 90 million at the box
Yeah.
office.
But this is a
But
weird model we live in now, the Amazon model.
mm, but I can confirm today it has been greenlit for a sequel.
Really?
Yes, I read it today. It is coming. They are redoing. They're doing a second one. I don't know what the plot's going to be, or any other details. Just that they have confirmed there will be a sequel.
Because it's the Amazon model, like it's an old new thing. Because before COVID, you had like a 13 to 16 week release window, which gave you 3.5 months. Now it's
Yeah,
28 days. So you like, have Amazon made this for the cinema, or as happened with some films, the cinema's not important. They're banking on how many people are going to watch it on Prime and how many people are going to get Prime memberships to watch this film. So it adds like a completely different spin on it. It's weird.
Mm. I think this will clean up on streaming because it is a fun film. You
Hmm.
know, I've sat and watched this with my mum and dad, and my mum is, well, you know, my mum, she's not a He-Man girl.
Lovely
Like,
lady.
yeah, this is not her kind of film. Both of them laughed all the way through. They
Mm.
absolutely loved it.
Well, they have great fun being self-aware about some of the names, ergo Fisto.
That was one of my favourite parts because obviously as a kid you don't really think about it, but the fact
Yeah.
that he's called Fisto and they call it out, and then even the other guy as well. I forgot his name. Not Wrecking Machine. What's his name? Oh God, I got blank. You know what I'm talking about. And he's like,
Because you
why'd you
find
call
out
him?
like he's named all of them, hasn't he?
Yeah, and it's come from like a 6-year-old kid's mind,
Yeah.
which makes so much more sense. Like there are some innuendos dropped in this film. I'm gonna keep this PC and not bring them all up.
Oh
But
no, we're well past PC. I like one of them where Skeletor's is like, and he has that mighty long sword which he pulls from between his legs. And I just turned around in the cinema because I've got like my boy to the left of me. Just turned around and was like, But to
yeah,
be fair, he was far more distracted with fighty.
yes. Well, I was quite distracted with He-Man's love interest in the film, Talia. She was my favourite part of the film. She was awesome.
See, this is me being super nerdy. I knew her from Riverdale, which was my guilty pleasure watch for 6 years.
Mm.
I was
Yes,
like, oh, it's Veronica.
she played a very good part. I thought Evil Lynn was very good as well. Ashley Brie.
Oh, she she knew the assignment. That's the best way you can sum it up. She knows like this is not, I'm trying to reinvent the wheel. This isn't like what they kept threatening to remake it where they want this is polished, grounded version. So she's like, no, I get the assignment. Pamp this up as much as I can
Yeah,
and allude to kind of step on me vibe.
and the only person I think is unserved in this film is the Empress.
Yeah, yeah, but
Like she disappeared.
you have so many characters. It's trying to decide who are the 5 or 6 you want to really lock in with, isn't it?
Mm. Yeah,
So and they pick Man at Arms, Teller, He-Man, Skeletor, Evil Lyn, and then you get like Fisto, like the extendable neck guy. Uh, like Cringer makes an appearance later.
oh, the Battle
Um,
Cat. Yeah, the Battle
they
Cat.
they gender flip the robot, which I have no problems with.
That was Kristen Wiig, by the way. That voice.
Yeah, but
I thought.
yeah, like I said, for the kind of film it is, I have a thing with these kind of films. It shouldn't be over 2 hours, and this film is about 2 hours, so it doesn't overstay its welcome. And I did love a lot of its in Eternia, like that. I was like, this is what probably 6-year-old Dan and Scott had wanted to see. We wanted to see Eternia in the big screen and actually look like Grayskull, and because
Yeah,
that was always a thing that when you got older and you rewatched Masters of the Universe, you're like, oh, I wish it was in Eternia more, don't you?
yeah. That's one. Ram Man. That's his name. Ram Man.
Yeah,
Doing my brain in. So there's one thing that actually let me down in this film, and it was something that stuck in my mind about He-Man ever since I was a kid. When he does the "I have the power" moment,
mm,
I very clearly remember, and I've gone back and rewatched some of the cartoons to make sure I was right. He gets the sword when he in his little pink waistcoat that he wears in the
yeah.
cartoon,
Purple
and he
trousers,
says,
white top.
"Yeah," and he says, "By the power of Grayskull," and he holds the sword in front of him
Yeah,
with both hands, and then he shoves it in the air. Oh, I have the power, and I was like, "Please do it in this film," and they didn't. They just lifted it straight up in the air, and I was like, "Oh, that's
mm,
such a cool scene where he's holding the sword in front of him, like." Do you know what I mean? With like both hands, and it
yeah,
all lights up, and I was like, that would be such a cool scene to see, like in live action, and they didn't
yeah,
do it. I was like, oh, that would have been cool. I like the fact they got the theme tune in though near the end
yeah.
when he
That
was
was
riding Friends.
I liked that we can go through various parts of this film because it
Mm.
there is a through plot and it speeds along like it's it's wonderful when you see him finally lift the sword because they build up to it and he
Yeah.
has the power, but you always get the feeling he's holding a bit back and then they go for a Eternia and you see him take on Skeletor's army, but Skeletor's trying to get the sword and he knows family is his weakness. And unfortunately we see his dad get killed in it. But then he basically has a HR pep talk with all the people of Eternia.
Do you know, I'm glad you bring this up because I know that there's people out there that will hate this part of it. How did you feel about He-Man
Oh,
basically
it's
wanting to be
funny.
a pacifist and talk to people rather than fight them? He even tried to talk Lockjaw down, didn't he, at one point?
Well, I see a lot of myself in him, Scott. Um, no, it's it. Yeah, it was an interesting like thing on it because they built allude to the whole film that he's soft and he's not quite there, and then at the end of the film, like he says to like Skeletor, he's like, "Oh no, I've just been holding back. Like I don't want to do it. That's not his way." So he's trying to find another way, but then instead of beating Skeletor by finding another way, which I've said the ending, the way they set it up, it left me in a catch-22. I wanted. I didn't want Skeletor to be like questionably, is he really a villain? Because that
Mm.
is the move a lot of them make. I was like, no, he's an out and out villain. But I did kind of want him to beat him by not kicking his ass by how they set up earlier. But I'm not going to complain. It was quite funny where you suddenly see Skeletor. He's like, maybe we should.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was a bit so leading on to that. Then obviously, I'm guessing you stayed for the extra parts after the
All
film,
three.
all three. So obviously, how do you feel about She-Ra? Do you reckon that's going to be a
Oh,
good
dude,
addition?
yeah, you can't have He-Man without She-Ra. Eventually, She-Ra has to appear in He-Man. If you're doing the whole thing like with the toys and the cartoon, you need She-Ra. It's just it's a different twist, different angle, makes him act different. Like it's to me, it's just a fun little bit.
So remind me, did they mention his sister in the film? I don't remember her being
No,
mentioned at all.
I think that was by design. It's a tease, though, isn't it? It's like, oh, there's another. It's like Return of the Jedi. You watch
Mm,
the whole thing. There's like there is another Skywalker, like Yoda
yeah.
says. So it's kind of teasing. It's like, oh no, he wasn't the only hope, really. There was this other person that we didn't mention the whole film and don't show his sister in any of the flashbacks.
Yeah. But obviously, Evil Lynn finds Skeletor's head and says, "Oh, you've looked better." Picks him up. So obviously Skeletor's coming back. So
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
like the end battle was like the main crux of the taunting point for me, and I did like it as such. She's like, we could just say we fought and we just go upstairs and sneak out. Like she
Mm.
actually offered it to her, and then she does it at the end of the film. Like when they were getting distracted, she's like, "This is my cue."
Yes, yeah. I do like the fact that she ran away with like. I thought she was good because obviously he's a bit abusive to her during the film, like choking her and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
it did set up a questionable dynamic because she's like, "Oh no," he's choking me, and then she's like, "Oh no." I was like, "Oh." I was like, once again, when you're sitting there with your kid, you're a bit like, "Oh." So, like I said, it went over their head, which is a good thing. But there's me sitting there. I'm like, I'm enjoying it, but I am conscious of children being like, "Why did everyone laugh so much at insert character here?" You're like, well, but
yeah, I think they tried to straddle the line of like kids and adults, which again I think they do well.
mm.
There's enough in there for kids if they want to, and there's enough in there definitely for the adults if they want to see it.
I think it'd be interesting when they do the sequel, how they do the sequel, because and we're actually doing well on time because once again, we're like there's an egg timer in our studio that goes down and they kind of evict us. It'd be interesting to see because this film was in production hell unofficially from the early 90s where the original script got turned into another film
Yeah,
to in the noughties that you had David S. Goyer attached, McGee, Channing Tatum was attached to be at one point, Dolph Lundgren was going to be the dad. There's just so many parts where, and that doesn't is included in the budget. Like from I tracked this, and it might be in your notes. It was at Warner Brothers, Sony,
yeah, yeah,
Netflix. I think in between that, it went back to Warner Brothers at one point. Then Sony had it again. Then it got very close to getting made at Netflix because they had the cartoon He-Man Revelations. Then it went up again, and Amazon immediately got it. But at that point, like the production has spent 15 years worth of money coming up with scripts, concept, pitches. But
Yeah.
with Travis Knight, like director of Bumblebee, and he has his own studio where he does like a lot of stop motion, where he's more critically lauded. It'd be interesting when you give him full control of a film, like what his version looks like.
I'd be quite interested to see what they do with the sequel. I'm assuming Adam's going to be a bit stronger in the second one. I imagine. I mean, you still got to keep it campy. It's He-Man, but I imagine he's going to be a bit more stronger character in the sequel. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I think it's going to be. Yeah.
Oh, like
I enjoyed it.
oh, like this one. I was when I saw like all the bits, I was like, oh, it's. I was like, do I want to see it? And in the end, I was like, oh, son, you want to see a He-Man, right? And just put the trailer in. He's like, yeah. I was like, oh, you have to go now. It's not because of me, not because I've just realised I've been
Yeah.
waiting 35 years of my life for this. But no, like I said, overall the cast as well. Like I said, we're getting to that point. Like we've discussed various bits about it. Like me and you both said we loved that flashback scene. Like not the flashback, like
Brilliant.
in his memory and just the different Skeletor looks. Like if you do a sequel, more of that, please.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
think
Just
both me and
Skeletor
you
sort of.
both want the Skeletor tie with the little bones, don't we?
Oh mate, some of those outfits were hilarious.
I
It
want his
was
night
really
training top as well.
yeah. It was really good. Well, let's score this then because I feel like there's something else that was released briefly on YouTube that I feel we should discuss
Yeah.
quickly before we wrap up. So, what is your score for He-Man Masters of the Universe?
It's going to surprise you. It just about sneaks a 7 in my head because it is popcorn film perfected.
Do you know what? I think that's fair. I think I would actually. Yeah, I mean, I was going to go 6.5, but I'll go 7 as well because I did enjoy it. I would definitely, I would easily watch it again. I think it's
Yeah.
easily rewatchable.
Oh, phones just went. Apparently, Jobe was in traffic, but he's 5 minutes away.
I still thought, right, okay, cool.
Oh,
Well,
maybe. Well, when we talk about the next thing, hopefully you jump in then.
okay, well, we have to talk about this being the geeks that we are. The new Spider-Man trailer was released on obviously on the YouTubes and everywhere else. I was a bit nervous about this movie. I'm not going to lie. I'd seen the trailer before and I was like, oh, I don't know how this is going to work. What's it about? This trailer absolutely blew me away. I mean, how did you feel about it?
Oh, I said there was one moment entirely like because I think we've had so many live action Spider-Man films at this point. This will be live action Spider-Man number 9. And I like to see things I haven't seen. Like the story looks interesting, interesting to see the dynamic with Frank. But that
Mm.
web bit at the end, it was a visual I haven't seen. And yeah, it's Spider-Man's always fighting to help someone else, but it seems like the battle in this trailer and the other one is there's a battle within himself. So it's
Yeah.
nice to get Peter where he's not in his teens or early 20s. I think he's supposed to have ventured into like he's nearing his mid-20s at this point.
So is obviously you being a comic book guy, you would have more of a knowledge of this kind of stuff. Is I see the black eyes and stuff inside the mask, which that is a fantastic shot, by the way. Seeing him
So
in the
this
mask.
is heavily borrowed from all this part of it. There's an arc called Spider-Man Evolve or Die.
Mm.
And I remember this because it's when I first got into comics. So part of it is it was to help link it to the Tobey Maguire one where he had organic web. So
Yeah,
in the comics, he kind of hits a next level. And they've done it in the cartoons. Everyone remembers the Spider-Man cartoon where he suddenly has like 6 arms and it's a comic cover. But he was holding back his full potential and he'd always been worried about losing himself to it. And if he can strike the balance right, because Spider-Man, he holds back on every punch, every hit,
yeah.
because size and everything. But there's this whole, it goes over a couple of issues where he's basically speaking to a giant spider, but the crux of it is that he evolves as a person and as Spider-Man because he's more in control of his powers, and that is the crux of this film, I feel. And you got the Frank dynamic. It's like he's always been with heroes, so to be with a vigilante, adds a different dynamic. So it's set up well. I enjoy what I've seen. I like what I've seen in the director's other work. This makes me very happy.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, I've seen a couple of online rumors that when these guys go black, is that a symbiote? Is that just a giant spider? So you've kind of cleared that up. There's a part of this film is where they say there's a threat coming that we can't handle, we can't see coming, and for whatever reason, it doesn't affect you. There's someone walking around in a hood. Do we think this is Sadie Sink as Jean Grey?
So I wouldn't be surprised if it was Jean Grey. I wouldn't be surprised if they were doing a flip on someone like Mr. Negative as a Spider-Man villain,
Mm,
who's like harder to fight because he's there, not quite there. But whoever it is a telepath, we believe. And
yeah,
I don't know if it's too well lined up because Sadie Sink has ginger hair and her part in Stranger Things makes people think of Jean Grey, or Jean, or it's she's going to be someone with powers but is being controlled by someone else. Like I'd hope they'd make her that and that villain, but I'm kind of liking the like ambiguous nature of her character. So I wouldn't be surprised. I'm so 50-50 on it. It wouldn't surprise. The obvious answer is Jean Grey,
yeah.
but putting a spin on it that she's been controlled with it. I can't decide, but it's making me want to see the film because I don't know the answer. My mind's blown that's their hands in it every time, which throws me for a loop.
Yeah, again, that was one thing. So I'm 90. Well, I'm 100% sure she is. Sadie Sink is playing Jean Grey. That's something that's out there. So she is Jean Grey, and she is in this film. It's like, but I don't know if she's the one with a hood or what. So again, that's a dynamic that I mean, she's a phenomenal actress, Sadie Sink. She really is great. So
I,
I'm really, if she is playing that, I'm really excited to see her version of it.
I think a big part with trailers, and I like what they've done with this, is for a while we all said you saw too much in trailers.
Mm,
That was an issue. Like you pretty much knew the film before you seen it. And we got the rough idea of what this film is, but I couldn't tell you the main villain is. I've seen villains, but none of them strike me as the main villain. So I'm going into it still not 100% sure what what the who or what the story is in this, but I'm happy about that.
I tell you another thing that's got me really excited as well because this is something that I didn't know about. I had to Google this and read up on it. We're getting the Hulk back in this, but
Yeah.
we're not getting normal Hulk.
Oh no, you're
We
getting more like Monster Hulk,
Yeah,
as I call it.
there's an actual term for it. I can't think of what
Savage.
we're getting Savage Hulk, yeah. So and I had to Google what Savage Hulk was, and it sounds very exciting.
Yeah, it's I think where the other ones have served the purpose of the MCU, I think this one is very much this is a Spider-Man story because Frank's first appearance is in a Spider-Man comic. So
Mm,
it's still a big world, but it feels a smaller world, is the
yeah,
feeling I'm getting in this. Like this isn't world ending, this is street level,
yeah,
which
yeah,
I think is what this trailer. I think it'd be nice to see it get back down to a smaller level.
yeah. It would be nice, yeah, to have a bit of a breather, especially as we've got Doomsday coming and stuff
Yeah,
like that. It's gonna be nice to have a contained Spider-Man film. But again, you put in the Hulk in there, you've got the Punisher in there, you could possibly have Jean Grey in there. I mean, Jesus, what a film!
I think this is what like maybe the first one where you know it's in the MCU, but it's away from the MCU's bigger universe. It's the first Spider-Man film like that.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? There's a reason why we're going to be sitting there going, like, in all the other sort of versions of the MCU films, we're all sitting there going, well, why isn't all the Avengers turning up to help this person, and why haven't this person do that? This is going to make sense now because no one knows who he is.
Mm,
Like, got that dynamic as well that no one knows who Spider-Man is, so why would they come help him?
yeah. Ah,
Like, very excited about this movie.
it's a shame because Jobe would have really liked to talk about Spider-Man. God, God knows what he's been doing.
No, I'm afraid we are going to have to wrap this up. So unfortunately,
And
Joe's going to have to
And I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try to do the sponsors and remember it all.
Oh yeah,
Or
nice.
I might get a friend from this film to do it.
Okay.
Remember, don't forget to follow the podcast on social media at Cinema Snacks Pod on Instagram and cinema.snacks.pod on TikTok. And also, don't forget to leave a rating and review on whichever podcast platform you listen to this on. Until we meet again.
So yeah, I don't know about you, Scott. This actually seems like a time to wrap it up. I don't think we can wait any longer for Jobe.
No, I'm afraid not. I can see the cleaners are coming in as we speak.
Oh God. Oh well. Well, we're sorry. We know how much everyone likes Jobe.
Yes. We do apologise. He will be back next time, traffic permitting.
Yeah, and we're hoping. I think the next episode after this is Supergirl, and then we go into the S season of July, our Spider-Man and our Superman film reviews. At one point, we will get back to the MCU, but we're just enjoying doing other bits at the minute. So
Yeah. We go where the work takes us.
yeah. Well, in that case, you've been.
I've been Scott.
He's more like the He-Man of this bit, and I'm more like Cringer. So I've been Dan. We'll see you next time. We'll try to find out where Jobe's gone, and we'll make sure you won't miss the next one.
Yep. See you soon, guys.
See ya.
Oh, sorry guys, I'm late. Oh, it took me ages to get enough talcum powder for this bloody loincloth. But hey, I've got my He-Man costume all together. And guys? Hey guys? Seriously, I've got my He-Man costume on and everything. Where are you? Have I missed it? What? Seriously, Jared Leto, why are you in my house dressed in all blue? Ah, forget it. I know. I'll just go on YouTube or something. Oh, cool. They've got that new Spider-Man trailer out. Sony Pictures. Okay, yeah, I'll watch this one. It's pretty good. Okay. Oh, flying through the air. That looks... Oh, Scorpion's in that. Looks good. Okay, looks like Symbiote. That looks pretty cool. Yeah, that looks like the Symbiote. Uh-huh. Okay, yeah, he's obviously watching Pete and MJ. Spider Fluid. Banner again. It's kind of similar to what we've seen already in the last one. Okay. Banner. Oh, wedding scene. That looks kind of fun. Okay. Okay, that looks... Okay, yeah, the new villain. I don't really know who that is, but it looks pretty cool. Okay. Interesting. Still don't know who the villain is. Okay. There's Pete and MJ, yep. Then we Flash. Okay, so they've got the power to jump in and out of bodies, similar to what we saw before. Oh, okay. Hulk's going to be in this. Cool. Okay. Okay. Punisher, yeah. Okay, the hand. Yeah, that looks like Symbiote. No, not Symbiote. The Man Spider. Okay, fights the Hulk a bit. That looks interesting, but... Oh. Okay. Okay. Still got a good bit of comedy and levity to that. Yeah, so overall thoughts. I don't think it's added that much from the last trailer. We still have we're still seeing the MJ and Pete not knowing him. That's fair. It looks like they're specifically saying you've got the Scorpion. Obviously, I kept saying the symbiote, but it also looks like it might be the man spider that he slowly transforms into. Well, a spider, a spider hybrid from Spider-Man issue 101. Anyway, yeah, it still looks like it's going to be good. How good, I'm not sure, but it still looks like it's going to be interesting considering he's kind of, as no one knows who he is, he's going to be. Yeah, I said I don't think we've learned anything new outside of the Scorpions in it and a bit more detail with him being with Mary Jane. But I'd still be interested. I'm still kind of excited to see what else is going to happen in it. I really hope they haven't given too much of the story away or any surprises, because I still don't quite see what the story is going to be. But I hope they haven't. I hope we haven't seen something they were saving for a surprise later in the film, because they've done that before, and it was not good. But yeah, so my money is on man spider hybrid rather than the symbiote. Looks like the hands in it more sinister, 6 sort of leanings. I would be very interested to see if they'll add another member of the Sinister Six. And I'm still really intrigued to see who this body swapper is. And now that they've got a scene where the entire town and the entire city gets frozen, I'd also be interested. It's probably the same person, obviously. So I'm really intrigued to see who that would be. But yeah, so I guess that's it. I guess I'll have to wash all this baby oil off. Although I think I'll keep the furry trunks for the moment. Who knows? Cosplay idea.